Mr. Simmons, go ahead and proceed with your 5 minutes.
Mr. Chairman, Ranking Member Holt, and members of the subcommittee, thank you for the opportunity to talk today about the Transboundary Hydrocarbon Agreement. First of all, some context. The United States and Mexico are energy-rich countries. Total recoverable oil in North America exceeds 1.7 trillion barrels. To put that in perspective, at the U.S. current rate of use, that's enough oil for 242 years. Total recoverable natural gas is approximately 4.2 quadrillion cubic feet, enough for 176 years at the U.S.'s current rate of use, and North America has nearly 500 billion short tons of coal, enough coal for nearly 500 years at our current rate of use. North America is not limited by our energy resources. Instead, we are limited by access to these vast energy resources. Trade between the United States and Mexico, especially in energy, not only makes our nation stronger, but it raises our combined economic welfare. In 2011, Mexico was the second largest source of oil exports to the United States, behind only Canada, and Mexico is the largest recipient of U.S. gasoline exports. Mexico's heavy oil production is falling, but hopefully the Transboundary Hydrocarbon Agreement will help turn around Mexico's oil production. The Transboundary Agreement could lead to oil and natural gas production on 1.5 million acres in the Gulf of Mexico that was previously off limits due to border issues. This production alone will not lead to a revolution in hydrocarbon production in the United States or Mexico. But more important than the oil and natural gas resources along the border is the potential for greater cooperation between the U.S. and Mexico. Mexico has long been a leading oil producer, but oil production in Mexico is falling. This is not, again, from a lack of resources. Mexico has an estimated 10.5 billion barrels of proven oil reserves, but that amount could double when unconventional and deepwater resources become proven reserves. The United States is the leader in accessing unconventional and deepwater resources, as seen by huge new oil discoveries in places like offshore Brazil that were made using technologies developed in the U.S. Working together, we can increase Mexico's oil production and reverse their oil production decline. This is especially true if U.S. hydraulic fracturing technologies are used to access Mexico's shale oil and gas resources. For example, one of America's most prolific shale fields, the Eagle Ford, extends into Mexico, but all of the activity is on the U.S. side of the border. The Obama administration finalized negotiations on the Transboundary Hydrocarbon Agreement last year. Hopefully, Congress will now be able to act to finalize this agreement. But one important note, while the Transboundary Hydrocarbon Agreement is a good agreement that will aid both the U.S. and Mexico, one potential problem is the conflict between Article 20 in the agreement and the SEC's Rule 13Q regarding disclosure for resource extraction payments. A possible conflict between Rule 13Q and Article 20 of the Transboundary Agreement at very least creates some uncertainty about compliance with both Mexican and American disclosure laws. This uncertainty and potential disclosure conflict could place foreign state-owned oil companies who are not regulated by the SEC at a competitive advantage to companies which operate in the United States and are regulated by the SEC. Also, much of the transboundary area in the Gulf is deep water and would require multi-billion-dollar investments to produce these hydrocarbon resources. Any additional uncertainty makes these large investments harder and helps to impede additional exploration and production. Therefore, the authors of H.R. 1613 are to be commended for recognizing this uncertainty and taking the proper steps to isolate this unique agreement from the uncertainties surrounding Rule 13Q. There is much more that can be done to benefit our continent, which happens to sit on the largest sources of hydrocarbons in the world. Affordable, reliable, and secure energy is our common bond, and the U.S. and Mexico can both benefit from its development. Positive movement on the Transboundary Hydrocarbon Agreement will help other energy projects move forward to the benefit of our people. Thank you for your time, and I will gladly answer any questions.